Hey everyone, I'm Ben.
I'm Matt.
And we're the owners of Golden Concrete Resurfacing. We provide premium epoxy coatings throughout the Lehigh Valley with the help of Concrete Floor Solutions.
Concrete Floor Solutions quality material combined with our passion for premium installations is what allows us to complete floors that last a lifetime.
Today, we're going to walk you through the process of installing a 3-coat epoxy flake floor in this 4,000 square foot office and warehouse space.
The first step in any installation that can't be skipped is the prep work. For this job, we grinded the entire floor, which had a thick coat of glue on it, so it was a 2-step process, and then we followed that up with filling all the cracks with a fast-setting 2-part epoxy from Concrete Floor Solutions. One of the first steps of prepping any concrete project is grinding the floor. Grinding the concrete has 3 main objectives. You want to clean the surface, open the pores, and create a scratch pattern that any epoxy can bind to. On this job in particular, there was a thick layer of yellow glue on the entire inside office space that we had to get up before we could diamond grind. We had to use a special attachment for the grinder called PCDs that chip away at that coating so that it can leave us with a glue-free surface that we can diamond grind with the bars. What creates the scratch pattern is the second step in our grinding process for this project. We use a 30 grit diamond grind to create that scratch pattern as mentioned before. You can think of the scratch pattern as sanding a piece of plastic or smooth wood before painting it. It gives the material something to grab onto so you don't have a peeling coating over time. In front of me we have a couple of our machines we use to prep the job. This is our walk-behind grinder, which can be used to grind 20 inches wide of concrete at one time, which speeds up the process immensely. This tool here is a 7-inch hand grinder which allows us to get right up to the edge of a wall so that the entire project is grinded. This is one of our concrete dust vacuums which help keep our workplace clean and dust from going into the ceiling tiles, etc. It also helps us get concrete dust out of the pores of the concrete when we're completely done grinding, and additionally clean up extra flake once we scrape it off the top.
So now that the floor is ground and we have a proper scratch pattern, it's time to crack repair. The video you're seeing is actually after all the crack repair was done. I'm going to overlay a few videos and pictures of the cracks in the floor before. If you want to see a more in-depth video, I definitely recommend checking out this video on Concrete Floor Solutions channel in the description. This floor had some pretty extensive cracks from sinking and shifting of the slabs, but the good thing is the CFS Fast Set Epoxy Crack Filler is really versatile, and you can see in this doorway, for example, where we needed to mix sand with the crack repair to create a mortar that could move around and shroud smooth. This crack repair is very fast setting, so you do need to work quick, and within 20 to 30 minutes, you grind over it again to get a scratch pattern and smooth it out, and then we're ready to coat. This slab in the warehouse was also badly damaged, and as you can see, after crack repairing and grinding, it looks as if they were never there.
Let's talk about material for a minute. All this material you can find on Concrete Floor Solutions website as far as the pricing, what's in it, how it's supposed to be used. The first step in our process is crack repair. Second step of the process after the floor is completely grinded and prepped is our low viscosity primer. This primer is going to soak into the concrete and be the foundation for the rest of our system. This coat is what we call an intermediate coat. This coat is going to add durability to the system and act as our broadcasting coat. For this project, the customer chose Claystone Flake. Claystone Flake is a hybrid flake, kind of mimics a polished concrete look. And then after the flake's on, we're going to scrape, vacuum, and blow any extra and coat it with our clear epoxy top coat. This is low odor and it's going to give a great glossy and durable finish.
To apply the different coats of epoxy, we have a couple different types of squeegees we use. First squeegee is a notch squeegee, which makes it really easy to apply a 10 mil thick coating of the primer or intermediate coat. We use an 18-inch epoxy glide roller to back roll the entire floor once the material is squeegeed out. This is an essential step to make sure that your coating is consistent throughout and you don't have high and low points. The reason we opt to do a multi-day system with 2 epoxy coats beneath the flake, as opposed to a fast curing or 1-day system, is because of the properties of the low viscosity epoxy primer. Our preferred system takes about 12 hours to cure to a point where you can scrape it and top coat it, meaning the watery primer stays wet and seeping deeper into the concrete for far longer than a fast-curing polyurea would. You can think of a polyurea base coat as tape on a sheet of paper. The tape may be stronger or weaker, but ultimately can peel away. On the other hand, an epoxy base coat with a primer is more similar to glue, which when soaked into paper is nearly inseparable. An additional benefit of the slow curing epoxy system is that it gives us more working time to ensure no corner is left uncoated. If you're applying epoxy as a wet coat, meaning that you already have your primer down, it hasn't dried, and you want to apply your intermediate, you wouldn't want to use this as it'll only leave 10 mil of material still on the ground. This is a flat squeegee, meaning it's not scalloped like the other one, which is great for people who have a bit of experience with applying coatings.
The intermediate coat is the same composition as the primer, just without the thinning agent since it's not typically in direct contact with the concrete. This 100% solids epoxy coat is a thicker coat that adds durability and thickness to the system so that the floor will hold up better over time. This is the same coat that the flakes are broadcasted into while the floor is still wet. On this project, the owners chose claystone flakes. One of the nice things about not only the intermediate coat, but all the products used on this project is how simple the 500 square foot epoxy kits are to prepare. They use a 3-bucket system that once you open the 6-gallon bucket the product is shipped in, 2 smaller buckets of part A and part B are revealed. All you have to do is mix the 2 smaller buckets into the larger one so you never get a measurement wrong. It's also easy to clean up since all the smaller buckets can be sealed into the 6-gallon bucket with a lid once you're done.
This is a scraper we use to get all the excess flake up once we've thrown all the flake and the intermediate coat is dried. After you've thrown out that flake, you're going to have a lot of additional flake not only resting on top of it, but also poking up at different angles that you want to flatten out. After all the flakes are down, we come back the following day once the intermediate coat has set to prep for the top coat. This involves scraping the entire floor with a flat edge to knock off all the flakes sticking up at different angles. We then scoop off as much flake as we can before vacuuming the floor clean. Once we're back at a clean surface, we broadcast aluminum oxide, our anti-slip agent, onto the flake. This sand-like product gives the top coat enough texture to help keep people from slipping when the floor is wet. This squeegee is our preferred squeegee for a top coat. It's a little bit heavier, but the flake helps regulate the amount of material on the ground so it makes it easier to move.
The final top coat on this project is Concrete Floor Solutions Clear UV Top Coat. This product is great for indoor spaces out of direct sunlight as it's very low odor, durable, and easy to work with. While this product has some UV resistance built in, we use the CFS 1-component polyaspartic top coat when doing projects outdoors since it will never amber in the sun and leaves an incredibly strong finish. When either top coat is used, it leaves the floor with a glossy, easy to clean surface with the chemical resistance we find is much better than the industry standard. Thank you everyone for watching the video today.
If what you've seen today is interesting to you, you can go ahead and click the link to our website down below and check out our free visualizer tool that'll show you what a coating like ours will look like in your garage.
Or click get a free quote and we'll come and take a look at your floor.